Flawless Learning. So today our topic is in Introduction to Window and Analytic Function, how that window and analytic functions work, then some ranking function, this kind of thing. Okay, so basically what is window and analytic function, right? So it helps us perform calculation across a set of rows while keeping the original dataset intact. Okay, so that's why I written here that perform calculation without collapsing rows like group by, because if you see the previous videos there I have mentioned that what group by does, right? So it's also it's aggregated the multiple rows, but here we can calculate different kind of, unlike that traditional group by, they written row level details, making them highly useful for complex queries, right? So what kind of they are used? So they used for ranking, cumulative sums, moving averages, and trend analysis. Okay, now there is some kind of key categories of this kind of function. First is ranking function. So under ranking functions, there are different commands like row number, rank, dense rank, NTILE. Then there is coming to analytic functions. So there is sum over, then average over, then count over, lag, lead, first value, last value. And there is moving aggregation, that is rolling sum, moving average. So basically, we will see every command in details. So let's move to the next slide, that how window and analytic functions work. Okay, so first a window function operates within a logical subset of data, definitely partition by. Okay, so that's the syntax. So it's a function. So then over a partition by there, therefore the column you want to need it, and therefore order by. And if you see the previous video, you will very familiar to order by, right? Because it's ordered the numerical column, basically ordered by salary. That means that by default it takes ascending, and if you want to descending, so you have to use that order by, then DESC, right? This kind of command. Okay, so that kind of thing. So here for Windows function we will leave that partition by, right? This partition by we have to write. Now partition by, this divides the data into logical group. Okay, so that's why we need that partition by. So this divides data into logical groups, and then order by, that defines order within each partition. First of all we have to partition by columns. Okay, then there is order by, so it orders the data within each partition. Therefore some kind of example table. So basically there is sales data. If there is sales data, there is order ID, then customer and amount and order dates. So how can you partition by that? So basically, so there is a function we written that, okay, select order ID and customer, then over. How can we partition the data into logical groups? So partition by, we can use it amount. Okay, and then order by, the column is order date, right? Basically if there is 9th Jan, there is then 12th Jan, so it's basically it's downwards. First of all we take that value of they take the value of 9th Jan, after that 12th Jan, this kind of thing. Okay, now first is ranking function. So there is a ranking function, right? So first is row number. Command is row number. It assign a unique number to each row. Okay, so then rank. So skip ranks for tiles. Basically there is two kind of rank. One is rank and one is dense rank, right? So what is the difference between it? Basically suppose there is a two amount like 200, sorry, basically there is suppose there are two different kind of uh, ranking. We have to skip rankings for ties, like there is two number like 200, 200. Okay, so for rank it skip ranking for ties, so there is a gap. Okay, basically it follows. I will show you an example also in my SQL workbench. So that kind of thing, that is skips ranking for ties. If there are two amount same kind of amount there, so then it is go for that, it skip ranking. But in dense rank it no gaps in ranking. Okay, so that's the basically the difference between rank and dense rank. Okay, now there is NTILE of n. It, what it does, so basically it divides row into n equal part. Suppose there are 9 number of row, and we want to that divide row in 3 equal parts. So we'll make sure that we'll write that NTILE within bracket is 3, because we want that there is 9 row and we want to divide them in three equal parts, this kind of things. Okay, then example query. So basically, how can we row number? See, that is select customer and amount row number over order by amount descending as row number. It gives the unique number of row to each row, right? Therefore there is rank, that is rank number, and therefore there is dense rank. Okay, so and NTILE of 4 over order by amount descending as quartile from cells, right? This kind of thing. So basically ranking functions is great for leaderboards and percentile calculation. Like row number ensure in unique rank, while rank and dense rank handle ties differently. And NTILE splits the data into equal size segment, useful for quartile analysis. Okay, so that's the basically purpose of ranking function. Okay, so okay, let's go to the MySQL workbench and see that how can you handle this kind of thing, right? Okay, one by one I will show you theory and then also the practical tutorial, right? So basically there is ranking function. So okay, so let's use the database student which I have created in the last few classes. Then there is suppose we want to create a table, and if you don't watch that previous video, the how can you create the table and what does it mean, how can the syntax of about the table creation and insert command, ddl, dml, this kind of command, if you don't know, then please watch the previous videos, because I have mentioned each and every command in details, that how can you create the table, how can you insert the values into the table, then what select command does, what update, this kind of thing, delete, drop, every each and every command, and therefore some pattern matching thing, therefore some joins, therefore some aggregated function, this kind of thing I already told in the previous videos. Okay, so let's create the table and now insert some values into the table so that we can run this code properly. So now there is a ranking function, right? So okay, so there is a query, so don't want to waste any time. So basically here I have created already a table called sales and then insert some values. Okay, and now there is that analytic and windows function. So ranking functions basically there. So select that function and run, execute. See, there is basically in row number there is a customer Charlie, Bob, this kind of thing, and row number I have already mentioned that it gives unique number to each row. So basically 1 2 3 4 5 6, as you can see, right? Now coming to rank number. So basically if you see that 1 2 3 4 4, okay, this kind of thing, suppose there is 2 700, right? So for against that 2 700 value, it rank number is 4. Okay, 2 4. Okay, and before the after that there is Olok and his amount is 655, and the rank number of Olok is 6, whereas the Dane's rank number for Olok is 5. So that's the difference between, because see, here is a 5 records before Alok, and it gives the rank number 1 2 3, and as there are 2 700, so it gives the rank as 4, and also dense rank number. But whereas the Alok is come here at the 6th record, there it assigned the rank number as 6, because as there is a 6th record, and it's keep, because there is a tie, that's what this keep ranking, right? Whereas Dane's rank number doesn't skip ranking, it assign 5, right? So that's the difference between rank number and dense rank number. Okay, I hope you difference rank number and dense rank number clearly. Now coming to quartile, that is entile 4 over amount, because there is a 4, so how many equal parts we want to, that is 4. So basically see, first 4 amount 1000 900 800 and 700, so first 4 records are assigned as 1, then next 4 records assigned as 3, then next 4 records assigned as 3, this kind of thing. Okay, so that's entile. So that's about ranking function.